We're all imperfect. We all have imperfections, and we all do not like our imperfections to a certain extent. And some of us maybe go as far as hating a certain part of ourselves that we have no control over. I want to drill it into you guys that it's not worth pursuing self-hate. Self-hate is one of the most toxic, self-destructive behaviors you can put on yourself. And let me get into a little bit why that is. When you feed that self-hatred in yourself, what that ends up doing is a negative feedback loop where you feed it hatred and it makes you feel crappy, but you feel some sort of weird justification for doing it, and then you just keep on doing it and doing it. And that feedback loop is not only painful for you to deal with, but others around you also notice it. When you're doing nothing but thinking like crap, not only are you going to look like crap physically, but your mood and your demeanor, the way you act, it's going to completely change. You're going to become someone, sad, sappy, always negative. As you feed into that negative, toxic feedback loop of self-hate, not only will you just have crappy aura around you that people genuinely it's very draining to be around someone so negative. Not trying to invalidate any level of your depression, anyone's problems. It's just that is one of the side effects that comes from that. But besides it affecting you negatively and the people around you, not trying to invalidate any level of your depression, anyone's problems, it's just that is one of the side effects that comes from that. But besides it affecting you negatively and the people around you, the reason why we get into that negative feedback loop is because there's some level of feel good / dopamine coming from that. And I think that that feel good resides within getting the satisfaction of doing something that you want. I feel like that's at a very basic level what it is, and because of that, it doesn't only take one form, that is feeding yourself hate. There's one other form. You can also feed yourself love. Satisfaction that you get from telling yourself that you hate yourself, you get you feel so much more better, and it feels so fulfilling. It's another thing. It feels very fulfilling when you replace all that hatred with self-love. And with that fulfillment, that contentment, that happiness, you can use that as its own feedback loop to become a better you and a person that you can look up to. Becoming a person, your own person that you can look up to, that's a cool thing. It's something to pursue. As far as how people tend to fall in to this negative feedback loop, of course, it's a lot of the time going to be trauma, and then that trauma leads to basically how it ended up working for me, at least, is something really bad, like a trauma happens to you, and then that ends up affecting you in a way where you just basically kind of change as a person, where, for example, when previous you would go for walks, you no longer go for walks, and these negative changes that essentially get put onto you by force, you do not like, and that develops self-resentment. Even though no one can blame you for this type of stuff happening to you, it just becomes a deeper and deeper resentment, because you have the self-will to change and go do it, but it's a big why, it is a really big why am I doing this, and what am I getting out of this? But as far as preventing falling into self-hatred, really the most important thing you can do is first recognize that you are valid. You're someone that is deserving of love and care. You deserve to have a good life. And once you do that, you combine that with daily self-love. So like keeping up with your hygiene, keeping up with maybe some sort of structure. That's one video I want to eventually do, something about structure, telling yourself, positive things throughout the day. And if you it's going to be hard at first. I'm going to be honest with you guys. It's going to be extremely hard at first. But keep in mind, guys, I thought that it would never get better. I was literally 100% certain on that. Now I'm in a completely 100% different situation, and now I realize that those were nothing but lies that I told myself. So just know that, yes, let's keep it realistic with ourselves. It's gonna be hard at first, but let's also keep it further more realistic. Anyone can achieve it. All right? Anyone can do it. You guys should believe in yourself. It's important you do. Besides that, what is one imperfection that you guys have that you've learned to love? One imperfection that I have always had in my life is having to ask people a second time quite often what they said, having to repeat themselves. I think it just has something to do with I don't know, my ADHD, I think. But it was very annoying to me for a while. But I've just learned to grow, it's just part of who I am. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a very wonderful rest of your day. You take care.